And also, just you started off as an engineer.
Yes, electronics and communication. I think it was 2005. I started my engineering career, and yeah, I went through it also. I mean, I finished it, so I have a degree. I can call myself an engineer. Not that I can help solve any issues, but like it's still here. I mean, it's part of the system now. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that shift happen? Like, how did you end up from being like an engineer to a chef, opening restaurants, and
So yeah, I get asked this the most, right? But I feel like it wasn't a shift; it was already there somewhere, right?
hmm
So, as a child, mostly took a fascination to science as such. So, the science subjects were very. I was very fond of the scientific subjects as such, and come come the decision making time after 12th. Um,
hmm
there was either engineering that the parents were sort of pushing for, and there's a small thing inside me that said, should I try BHM? Because I used to I used to sit and watch my mom cook, and I used to dabble around, make myself Maggie. At a very sort of young age, I used to make Maggie of sorts, and like used to add my own things to it a little bit. But then nobody really takes that seriously, right? All of us make chai at some point, correct?
yeah.
And so engineering it was, and then I did, and I was sort of really interested in electronics also, because I used to like pull things apart, put them back, travel to the city market, buy small components, build something small, like a timer or a beeper. So that interest was very prevalent at that point of time. What did happen was, as I studied it, I realized I was really good at the lab part of it, but then the theory of it, I couldn't sort of reproduce it on paper time and time again, time and time again. So I think in a way the syllabus sort of killed me, uh, and my interest for it. And so at the end of the third year, I think it's a 4-year course. At the end of the third year, I'm thinking, man, I don't want to do this, because I see everybody doing whatever engineering. And that point of time, I think it was the IT boom. I think kind of,
hmm
and it was just post the IT boom. So still there was like remnants of the IT boom, and regardless of what you did, you ended up as some sort of a software engineer in some sort of a company, uh, learning to code all over again. And it was I really, it's very difficult for me to sit in this place for like more than some time. You will see I start walking around sometime now, but I couldn't see myself doing a desk job. Yeah. So I got even placed, I think. I got campus placement in a company that was then called Keen Infotech, which is now, I think, NTT Data. It's been taken over by a Japanese company. So I got placed, and then I finished my engineering with dwindling interest. Um, and then immediately I was like, no, this is not for me. And I started looking for a job, some sort of a kitchen job. I knew I wanted to go to this university, and then I needed a 6-month experience working in a kitchen. Nobody's going to hire you in a kitchen if you don't have any know-how. So I tried talking to some friends and their fathers, and if they had knew someone in a restaurant business. Nobody knows this, but I initially worked for a sort of an Indian restaurant on Marathali Main Road for about a month. I don't remember what the name was. It wasn't important, but it was a regular Indian restaurant. You'll get your roti curry, your starters, maybe a little bit of Chinese food. So I used to travel all the way on my Honda scooter, and for 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers, I think. And then I used to go there every day religiously, check in the morning, and there was no structure as such. I just used to go in, and they used to be like, "Huh, watch this." They really didn't want me to get into anything right then. I think they're having me watch a lot of things, and it was a seafood place. So I remember cleaning a lot of like seafood guts in the starting.
Mm.
Going
Uh,
through, sorting through things, which is fine. I was really calm. I wasn't like put off by it or anything, but it was just not structured properly, I think. And I didn't think they were. I was looked at as one of these people that the owners said just help him out. So I was getting menial tasks to do, but there was no structure to the whole thing, and there was not one person that I could learn from. So and then I think the restaurant itself wasn't too busy. So then I had a chat with them and I said, I don't think this is giving me what I want. So in a month, like most interns, I was out of there. Not because I couldn't do it, just because I didn't think it was uh, doing enough for me, and I think the place itself was a little dingy of sorts.
mm.
Then came this the only French sort of restaurant in Bangalore, which was behind Safina Plaza. It was uh, it was a lovely place, lovely space altogether. It was like uh, a nice patio seating, and then the chef was trained in France, stayed with the French family, trained there. So this was like a major upgrade. And then I think one of my close friends, Shishir, I think he knows the chef there. So he got me an introduction, and he said, "This is yada yada. He wants to do this." So then I started working there. Um, this is, I think, my first proper restaurant experience in Bangalore, and I think it was called Orange Peel at that point of time. I don't know if you've ever been. So
No, I'm not.
probably not. Yeah. So there, yeah. I mean, I started going to work there every day, and then learned quite a bit about at least the nitty gritties of the kitchen. And they have a good balance. They had a Indian side, and then they had a continental, a Mediterranean French side. And yeah, I mean, I goofed up a bit and I learned a bit. So this was this was in sort of instrumental. The chef was Vikram Udaygiri. It's very helpful and sort of shaped the initial part of my career, and that gave me the sort of the CI sort of was like had this thing wherein you needed a 6 month sort of experience in a kitchen setting for you to actually be considered for a place. I don't think it's there anymore. Now anybody can go. But what that did was it told you if more than it conveyed a message to the college. I think it made sure that you knew what you were getting into.
Mm.
Because the kitchen is a place it looks super glam from the outside, especially with the advent of all these shows and stuff. But um, it made sure that you knew what you were getting into. So it sort of let you experience it for yourself first before you get into it uh, deep dive. So
Yeah.
I did that, yeah, and I applied to college, man, and I got in. I got in with some sort of a small scholarship, but then I had huge problems with my visa because I was an engineer who was going to study cooking, and at that point of time in 2009, I think, just passed my post my engineering. That was unheard of, and it was like ridiculous. Like, oh, you think you're just going there to? They thought I was going there to just squat there and do some part-time engineering jobs. I'm like, so this happened. It happened a couple of times, and then I got rejected. I think twice. And after the first time, I had to wait until I could apply again, and then Meanwhile, I started working for a media firm just to make some. This also no, not many people know. I started working for this media firm called Repicom, which used to do sports analysis. So I used to
Oh wow.
so I used to watch like games frame by frame and then mark out sponsorship and then give them a report of how effective the sponsorship um, is in the broadcast. Suppose you're Samsung or something, and then you give Samsung a report saying in this game your sponsorship has been this uh, this much impact. It's had this much impact. But that
Okay.
it was always a part time job. I think I got rejected the second time because I was an engineer applying for a cooking job, currently working in a media firm.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I mean, I think that was a little stupid of me. But then, so then I quit this, and then I cleared everything up, and I was helping a friend who has a restaurant, like a regular restaurant, put some systems in place, and then I finally went for the third time. I got my visa, and then yeah, and then I was in CIA.